Hi, my audience listening on me on podcast or in this live FM frequency 88.9 FM. I am your host, Bismi Palati. On this topic today, I am talking about a life incident that I had recently, and then what I learned through that, and how we can overpower things happening in our life. Yes. On Wednesday afternoon, I was just finishing up my work and then getting ready to come from my workplace. I got a call from my son. Usually, you know that if boys, they don't really call too much unless they need something, especially they need money or some other issues. So it is like a call from India. If it is coming up, it's yeah, it's a bit hard to pick up the call because we know that there is a news and that's why they're calling. Yeah, that's what happened with my son. He called and he said, I'm all right. Don't worry. I just called to let you know that I had an accident. My car got hit by another one. Myself and Jace, that's my youngest one. He was going to pick up him from the school. And he said, myself and Jace is okay, but I just want to know, let you know that, yeah, car got hit by another car. We can't really drive the car. And somehow, yeah, he got some help from an angel. That's what the story of one point that I need to mention or find out how that happened. And then we had a conversation. I made some plans and I told do this and do that because I need to take at least 60 minutes to reach him. And then the question I asked, are you okay? Are you mentally okay? Because he mentioned that he's okay physically. Are you okay to go through the tough time? Because he called me different times before, like a half an hour before, but I couldn't pick his call. Was at work and didn't even get time to pick that call. But his continuous call is what made me to pick the phone during my office hours. But anyway, my first question was, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yes, I am okay." But anyway, I reached home. One of my friends helped him yeah, to be with them until I reached, and then we slowly picked them from their house. Usually Wednesday evenings we used to go to mass, and it's our regular regular commitment to ourselves and to our parish to go and do the altar serves with three boys. And if I miss that, it's more of like a sad feeling for us because it's a commitment that we couldn't make it. So we try our level best to keep that commitment. But this Wednesday, I reached by 7, and I had to pick up the car, and then I couldn't make the mass. But at least we stayed for the second part of our liturgy. I met a couple of people, and then they were all anxious to see or hear what happened, why you were late, why boys didn't do the altar serve. So it was really good. Good way of understanding that there is an expectation, and then people are really concerned and compassionate about us and want to know what is happening or what happened to break that commitment. That's the second point that I need to talk again. And then after that, obviously we know that we need to go through the insurance and then make it, get that fixed. And had conversation with our insurance people and the person who did hit the car. And that's my third point that I learned. And the last thing on that day, on Wednesday night, what I did is to have an open conversation with my son. And that's the fourth point that I need to talk to you. All right. So I made 4 points. First of all, the angel. Second of all, yeah, the commitment and the conversations that we had, and then the insurance and insurance conversation, and the conversation with my son. So when I was having this conversation with my son, the first thing that stuck into my mind is that he was very very conscious, and he was making sure that I am not stressed about the news. I'm not a person like becoming anxious quickly, because when we go through lots of trouble, we will get that maturity to connect with the reality and then not get anxious that much. But again, he was very conscious and taking a real conscious effort to put his words in the right way, that showcasing that he is okay. And I felt really grateful to my God that if we go through the tough time and go through some real brutal realities of life, even though we were going through the trouble with the hard hearted or like a heavy hearted and with the real struggle, the lessons that we learned or gained in our life is really great. You do not need to teach people if you are going through the tough time. They learn through the experience. They will get used to the trauma, and then they know how to respond to that without impacting them internally, without impacting their soul. That's what I can clearly see from my son. I mentioned an angel story. Yeah, what happened that the incident happened close to the Thomas Carr School where he was going to pick up my son, and then there appeared to be a friend of mine who we used to come to the same church, and then she is a religious education teacher from other school and happened to come here for a meeting with the principal of the Thomas Carr School. So she was on time for the meeting at that time, but seeing my elder son Joel having this accident, she actually called the principal and took some time off from the meeting and then came to my son and consoled him and having conversation, and then got this principal out of the school and then had this conversation with my son. I didn't know any of these things. I didn't know this when Joel was calling me, because boys will say the things and then stop it. The story I came to know later. But I got a call from this angel. I'm sure that she'll be okay to share her name. She was one of my guests in this radio show. She's one of a great person who loved Jesus and then spread the good news through the school. Her name is Connie, and then Connie is actually a religious educator in one of the schools in the western suburb. And then she is a very active supporter of parish activities in our St. Peter's Church. So she was my angel that day. So I didn't even know the angel helped and consoled him until, a very long time, until I got a call from her after around 8 o'clock, and then was telling that she was there. And then she was checking on me whether Joel is okay. Don't worry about the car because Joel is okay. That's what important. I felt that call and message as a message of God, message from God, or God sent that messenger as an angel on that spot. I was not there, but God gave angels to support. That's the one message or one lesson I learned. Like when you go through your life with all your commitment to your creator, to do the good things, even though it's we are going through the valley of tears and valleys of death, there will be a peace. There will be a peacemaker or a messenger to help you. I can't be with my sons all the time. I had to trust them. I had to build them, or make them a gentleman and give them confidence that they can lead their life. But I have a confidence that I have surrendered my voice and my life to God with a purpose that He provided, and He will arrange the angels to support wherever they are, whatever you're doing. And that's the reaffirmation that I got from this incident. That's what I said. If you are doing your things in right way, there is an angel waiting for those people that who need help. You don't need to be attached with your family, your friends, or anybody to get help on that time. God will appoint the best angel that is apt for that particular moment. That's the first lesson I learned from this incident. And thank God for reaffirming that God is my guardian. He is protecting us in any way, in any every way, that He got a purpose with us, each and every soul in this earth. So why we worry? Yes, we do have struggles. We do have real struggles, and the incidents are really impacting us in different ways. But thinking about that support that God is giving us through people and who care, who compassionate, who really looking after us is a great relief, and it's a confirmation that God is there all the time looking after us. That's the first message I learned from this. The second one, I mentioned about the incident that about um, the insurance ones. Yes, we need to call the insurance people and get this done. So this I had different incidents, different insurance call, and it took time, and it was like sometimes we can't even understand what can be done to make it happen. But this call that I made to the insurance people, I felt like it's a pre-scripted call, that the girl was on the other end, and then was like it's like a tick box, like one question and one line answer, whatever we take talking. Everything was timely, and within 5 to 6 minutes time the claim was lodged, and the car was given, and the date was arranged. Everything happened in that very short period of time. I was not worried what will happen to it. How do I make it happen? All those things. But I was depending, surrendering totally on God. The reason why I'm telling this again and again, even though we say that we surrender, it is so hard to surrender logical mindset to God for with 100% surrendering mindset, because every time we think, okay, should I do this way, that way? Should I email? Should I do the web or not? But this time I was like, I'm telling myself, God has a plan, and then you have to do it because He will arrange things. So I was like 100% confidence in that in that providence that God is giving, as we all hear in Philippines 4:19. And then when I called, and it was like a miracle that He's giving me everything. And then interestingly, He was asking me, are you okay to give this car or that car? Do you need that facility? Do you need this one and that one? So which I felt like, he was giving more luxury when we are going through the trouble. That I can see that God's providence, and God is guiding and comforting us if you are going through the tough time and troubled time. So I feel like that's a lesson, that if you are going through the troubled time, there is God taking you in His hands and giving you comfort. Sometimes through the tough time and through the anxiety, through all these worldly noises, you may not feel that God is there and taking care of us. And I couldn't feel many different times. And this is the time that I can clearly reflect that God is taking charge of everything happening in this incident. That was really amazing. And then when I was going through picking up that angel story, finding out what happened to the thing. This third one I need to share, the commitment that we make um, has an impact in you, and at the same time an impact to the community or the area that we making that commitment, because it's a commitment that we make to put our God, our spiritual need first, even though it's a weekday. That's what I feel to put my time and effort to God on that day so that my kids can be with God and then understand what's the liturgy happening and how important that in their life, because from the day one that has a great impact in their life, and then I want them to continue even though they are busy with their studies and other activities. So when we were away from that commitment without notification, the community is worried or checking on us whether we okay or what happened. That's a great connection that we're making through a commitment. So that's the learning that I need to share. If you are knowingly or unknowingly making a commitment with a right purpose, the community that involved with that commitment is with you. They are thinking about you. They are there for any help. Sometimes you may not ask for help, but they are there. They are part of your commitment, and then get help from them if you need any help. That's what I want to tell you. And they are thinking about you. And I was so consoled and comforted by hearing from different people from my community, like, thank God Joel is safe, nothing happened. We can fix the car, but he is okay. And the other party who had who hit the car was okay. She was around my age, but she is okay. And then I was connecting to that lady as well, and then she was also so generous, and even though she was stressed, she was also in the same mindset. Yes, we are safe, with nothing happened to us, we can mend the car. So that's a third point that I want you to learn. If you are committing to something with your right mindset, the community around that commitment is always with you. So connect with them, because if you connect with your core, that's a big change happening in you and in that community. And the fourth one, that may be a good one that I have done maybe intentionally for the first time. I know that having accident is a trauma. It's a traumatic experience, even though it is not your fault or your fault. If you are not injured or injured, it's a traumatic experience. So I really wanted to give my full support to my son and then show that I support him in all the troubled time, all the mistakes, all the ups and downs of his life. And I always do that. And I was having a conversation just with him at the end of our that day of all these incidents. And I was asking, "Are you okay?" And then he was telling, "Yes, okay." But I just sat with him and I told him, "I want you to tell me what exactly happened, and then what was the feeling or thoughts that you had." So he mentioned that first of all, I thought about the other driver, whether he or she is okay, whether the life is okay, whether they injured it or not. And the next thought was whether Jace was okay, because Jace was waiting at the school, and it's bit getting late, and then it's getting darker, and then he doesn't know or whether he will walk or wait, or getting worried because Jace got a bit of like anxiety, and then he is so attached to the family, and then it is a big issue if he can't really like connect with the brother and then can't see them on time. And also he worried about his brother. And then I asked, what was your third thought? And then he mentioned that the third thought was, I was thinking about you, mom, and then what you will be thinking, whether I made a mistake or I made you upset or I made you sad. Like, those, that was the third thought. I didn't actually go on to the next thoughts, but I actually stopped there. And then I was having a bit of like a conversation because I was so proud the way that he managed the incident. He was so calm. He was articulative, very in the right way. He picked up all the things that he needs from the other lady, and then he even consoled that lady. And then the message that I got from that lady is also showing that they were having that incident, but they were in peace at that time. They didn't know what will be the impact to the car, but they conveyed that peace between those two people. But picking up the fourth point, he was worried about mom. He was thinking that whether he came up to that expectation level that I was expecting about my son during that type of incident. So that's where the lesson I learned. I really had a good conversation with him. It's a life skill, and then you can't really give all the scenarios of accident and what to do, how to do, but the way that dealing that accident or the incident is, it's a life learning. And then the way that they systematically putting out that thought process and then putting me in that line and then worrying about it. I felt amazed that how a human being is evolving in their maturity level and thinking about different things. So, what the point is really struck um to my thought process is that sometimes you may think that you haven't done good with your motherhood, you haven't done anything to teach to your kids to do the right thing, the to do the things with common sense. But I think they will be learning from your own way of doing it, or your conversations with them, and the way that you're dealing the other areas, not the specific areas, but the real regular daily life. So that's what I felt. I haven't really done any teaching or anything to my son to do the things this way or that way, but the way that he encountered this incident and then did it, the way I felt like, he's learning something, uh, looking at or going through the environment that he is bringing up his life. So I would encourage you, if you are a parent or a son or daughter or a community member, whatever you do with your 100% commitment, and with a good purpose, the other people are getting impacted. That impact on other people will help them during in any incident. So do what you're doing with your 100% dedication and with the good purpose that will really impact in yours or someone's life. And that's how you're spreading love, joy, and peace. And this is Bismi Palati on 88.9 FM on Dominus Nisi, the very special show.